My name is LIFESTONE GH, you know already. Welcome to my page, African Youth Empowerment. Every blessed day when we wake up, we just think of things that will help Mother Ghana and Africa as a whole. So when the ideas come, we want to come on live and share what we think. We might not have a soul knowledge about everything. We don't claim we know everything. But the little things that comes into our idea daily will come and teach our people. So good morning. When you come, you share the video for me. Sweeney Jagbani, I see you. Bafo Jan Ted. Oh, for Miki, yes. Please share. I see everybody. Yeah, Kwe. I see you. Yeah. Nana Henema, I see you. Nana Hema. Good morning. This morning, sorry, I'll be doing this in English. Anytime you see me on this page, it's English. So I'll be doing it in English. I was looking at something, okay? This morning I wake up and I saw a lot of posts on Facebook, and I was going through people's profile and I was looking at the things that are happening, what people are thinking, what they are doing, what are the decisions that they are making. Then I came up with this idea that our way of life, you see, we have confused our way of life with religion. I think this very key topic, this very key ingredients is what Africa needs to take back the good clothing that it has. Our way of life. We have refused our way of life and we have exchanged it with religion. Something we have no idea of, something that we cannot hold, something that cannot control us. Because if you look at all these foreign religions in Ghana and Africa as a whole, okay, they are not our way of life, so they cannot control us. Africans started losing their morality from the very day that we refused our way of life and we wanted to go with how other people lived. Last time I said on my video that every religion has got its country of origins, culture blended in it. Yes, so this morning I'm here to talk about our culture. The culture of the African continent. You see, we accepted religions, and because of the fact that an Arabian man brought you a religion and it has an Arabian background and an Arabian culture embedded into it, the first thing you have to do is what? You have to first forget your own way of life. Please, when you come and share this video, you have to first forget your own way of life in order to live another person's life. Because an European man brought you a religion and embedded his culture into that religion, then you have to abandon your way of life and go according to what is done in the religion. The first thing when you start losing our way of life and therefore our heritage is something that I would say, let's first take our names, okay? Let's first take our names. Before the coming of the Arab man and the coming of the Europeans into the African land, the African man had no name like Ibrahim. The African man had no name like John. The African man had no name like Matthew. The African man had no name like Suleiman. The African man did not have any name like Razak. Where are our names? Where are our names? Where are the names of the African tribes? So this is the first identity that should start making you realize that you are losing your way of life, how you are named. Now, because you have accepted a foreign religion, and this religion came with a culture that was indoctrinated or embedded into it, and now you are following this, you have to abandon your way of life, the first thing being your identity, your name. Your name. The first identity of a an African man should be his name. Wherever you go to, when your name is asked, your name should be able to trace back to your roots as an African man. Because this is the biggest mistake that our ancestors did. They could not differentiate between tradition, culture, and religion and customs. They could not make the difference. So they accepted the religion, and because there was a way of life in the religion, they abandoned their way of life and accepted the religion and started living according to religious practices instead of their culture, customs, and traditions. This is what I came to share with you this morning. So the first thing that we lost as black people is our identity, which should reflect in our name. Today, you travel outside, you see a black man and you ask him, what is your name? My name is Michael Johnson. My name is Michael Johnson. Where can this Michael Johnson be traced back into your roots? Where can this Michael Johnson be traced back to your roots? You ask, you find a black man, you ask him, what is your name? You tell you, my name is Mustafa Mohammed. Mustafa Mohammed can be traced back to an Arabian land. Mustafa Mohammed can only be traced back to an Arabian land and not your origin, not where the black man comes from. So we change our identity, and therefore we start losing our way of life. We start losing ourselves with the names that we even give ourselves. So you become a slave of another person's programming. You become a slave of another person's way of life because you have abandoned your way, and now you are looking at living the life of a person that you don't even know, a person that you cannot even comprehend with. So you abandon your way and you became a slave to another person's way of life. So the first thing you did was to even change your name to look like the person. Before the coming of the the white man and the Arabian man to the land of Africa, where was all these names? Today, we hear blacks who are saying we are the spiritual Israelites. Now, a black man has put camera on himself and even trying to introduce us to this concept where blacks are now Arabians. Blacks are now Arabians. Yes, I saw a guy doing a video last time and he was trying to trace the Ashanti roots back to an Arabian. He was trying to trace the Ashanti roots back to an Arabian society. This is the problem. This is it. So we lost our way of life through that identity, our name. Let's take up something else. What else did we lose our identity to? The way we marry. The way we marry. We shun our way of life, we shun the way we married, and we took up a foreign way of marriage. So we took the right of the parents and the elders in our community and we handed it right over to the pastors in the church. Today, when a black man, a black lady is going to marry, they have to go and sit with a pastor to counsel them, to tell them what marriage is all about. Whilst they have parents at home who has married and gave birth to them. So today, pastors have become the sole leaders in our communities. We are in a society where we don't even respect our parents anymore. We will not respect the elders in our community because we took up a way of life of people, and therefore we had to shift all this respect to other people. Today, when a black child wants to do something and the parents are advising them against it, all they need is a go ahead from a pastor. Then they can ignore whatever their parents are saying and go according to what the pastor is saying. That was not our way of life. Today, a black man, a black guy, a black lady will listen to the words of an imam in a mosque than the words of their own parents. Why? Yes, because we lose our way of life. We lost our way of life from the exact day we accepted a foreign religion which had a foreign culture embedded into it. So the pastor who is in your church, the imam who is in your mosque, is a representative of the person who brought you the religion. He is making sure you are acting according to plan. He is making sure you are acting according to the foreign concept of life. So the pastor comes to church and the dressing of the pastor is not anything, has got nothing to do with your way of life. A pastor comes to church. You see a pastor in church, and the way the pastor is dressed up has got nothing to do with the African community. What is the pastor portraying to you? The pastor is teaching you that your way of life has passed and gone. This is the new way of life. Put on a suit, put on a tie, and tie your neck. This is the way of life, because this is the identity of a slave. Please share this video for me. So the black man began to lose our ways. And today, look at what is happening around the world. We disrespect our children, we disrespect our elders. And the pastors in our community has been able to take authority from our parents, our elders, and even to the extent they have taken authority from our kings. Where today in Ghana, when a pastor speaks, a king must shut up. Today in Ghana, when a pastor speaks, a king must shut up. Today in Ghana, when an imam or a sheikh speaks, a king have no right to talk against it. So they took our way of life from us and they handed the power over to people that will make sure we never go back to our roots. So the pastors are there, the imams are there as guidance, as a guiding block, to make sure the black man never goes back to his roots, because the pastor will not tell you anything about the black African roots. So we first change our name to John, Michael, Michelle, Jeremiah. We change our names. We change our names to Razak, Muhammad, Abdul. We change our names. We lost ourselves. Now, there are a lot of blacks in Ghana who don't even know how their tribes named their children, because they have thrown away all these names. Because the religion that they took, the religion that they are part of, made them know that all their ways were the ways of evil, even to the extent of their names. To the extent of their names. Right now, if you want to name your child, you have to look at someone else's country and choose a name to name your child in a different side of the world. Now, if a black child is going to marry, they are not going to listen to the words of parents, but they are going to listen to the words of their pastors. Now you cannot, a parent, a king, an elder of a town cannot control a black child than a pastor can. So we handed all the authority that we had as people. That was our way of life. Our elders, our leaders, they brought us up from infancy. An African child is brought up by a whole community, not two individuals who are called parents. Yes. The African child, the village in which I grew up, we were brought up by all the villagers. Every elder in your village was capable of being your parent. Therefore, we were brought up this way. That is the African way of life. Today, you see parents, they rise up and they come to tell you, oh, the children of today, they don't respect anything. When we were young, we were not like them. The children of today, they have been possessed by the devil and they don't respect. The children of today, they've done this, that. Then now the leaders, the elders, our parents who have failed us are now putting blame on us. We go to the extent where the elders, the leaders, our parents who have failed us right from the day one are now putting blame on the children who knew nothing of their origin. The parents cannot trace back their own origin and teach their children this was our way of life. Why? Because we have become copycats. We are living in other people's proxy. Now, so you are a black man and you lose your identity. You don't have a name. You do not have a name. Because your name is a reflection of someone else's idea. Your name is a reflection of someone else's culture. This is when the black man started losing themselves. So look at what is happening today. The white man who brought you the religion was always looking of a way to be to be supreme over you. It was a way of controlling you, and how successful have they been able to do this? And I will tell you on point blank today that they have achieved great success when you threw away your way of life and you decided to live a fake life which was not part of you. You decided getting all the wrong ideas in your head. So the first thing they did when they came to Africa, they made you understand that the word black means sin. The word black means beast. The word black means ugly. The word black means the worst of creatures. So they drew a white God, they drew a white Jesus, and they drew a black Satan, and they presented it to you. They made you to understand that yes, they are the people, they are the chosen nation, they are the people God decided to work with. Why? Because they are whites. So they brought you their religion. A white man brought you a religion and told you once upon a time a God came to the white man's land and chose the white man as his people, and the God worked with the white people, and therefore you lose yourself. And they presented this God in a white form and gave this God a white child, and therefore you became the Satan. You became the beast. The black man's identity became the beast that is described in all these religious books. Yes. To the extent, even in Islam, there is a hadith that says that the black dog is just like equal to Satan. Yes, the black dog is equal to Satan. So when you are black, everything black becomes very inferior to you. We are in a country, we are in a world today where a black child does not love their own skin. We're in a world today where a black child does not love their own skin. Because why? It was presented to them as evil. It was presented to them as barbaric. And because they refused their way of life, they abandoned their way of life, today a black child sees their skin to be something that they cannot keep. You see a black child wanting to look white like snow. This is where we lost our identity as people. A black child does not know the amount of the very good use of the melanated skin that they have. Right now they are trying to look like the white man. Yes, because the ties of Prophet Muhammad look like white as snow. So we do not like ourselves. We lost our names. We lost the way we marry. We lost the way we even name our children. We lost everything, and now what we are doing is trying to lose our skin. Today, the black child is trying to lose their black skin and look like the white man, because from infancy, the picture that was presented to the black child was a white Jesus and a black Satan. Right from childhood, this was the picture, this was the image that was portrayed to every black child: a white Jesus and a black Satan. A black man grows up and does not even know the value of black. When a black child grows up, the black child does not know the value of what is black. So we lose our identity, we lost our name, we lost our way of life, and now we are trying to lose our skin, our black skin. Yeah. Why? Because it was about mental issue. It was about empowering and conquering the brain. When your brain is conquered, you are totally done with. Today, the white man who brought you a religion introduced something that we call LGBT. And I can tell you on point blank that we have over 70% of the black community who are gays in America. The black community makes up 70% of all the gays that we have in America. The black community in America, they make up 70% of the gays and lesbians that are in America. I'm telling you. Why? Because it was an agenda. It was an agenda to distinct you from life. And you played into it. And because you refused your own way of life, it got to you. Because you refused to live the way your ancestors were trained to live, it got to you. Today, I can tell you there are more gays in Africa than in entire America. There are more gays in the continent of Africa than the entire white population of America. Why? Because it was an agenda. And it was set for you. The white man is training their children to grow up, have family, have kids, and be nice. He brought you an indoctrination that told you having kids were inferior. The black woman has now got to the extent of they don't have good use of the womb that they were given by creation or by nature. So the black woman thinks, why should I go and lose my form? Why should I lose this beauty because I want to give birth? So in order for this to happen, the black woman becomes a lesbian and she will not give birth. Because she will not want to give her breast to a baby to suck, because it will deform her breast. Because of this, the black male child has become an irresponsible father, an irresponsible child to the extent that they don't want to give birth and take care of children. So they want to be gays. They want to be gays because they don't have that sense of responsibility. Because their way of life was stolen from them, they abandoned it and they took up another person's way of life. Because of this, the black male child don't want to be responsible. Because of this, they will become gays. I'm looking at Africa. Last time I saw some statistics and I just realized we have more gays and lesbians in this continent, Africa, than the entire white population in America and Europe. But they have legalized it and we have not. They have legalized this thing and we have not, yet we are doing it, practicing it more than them. Why? Because we lost our way of life. Because we lost our way of life and we thought another person's way of life was okay for us. So everything was set up for the black man in a way to distinct the black man from history, and the black man is still not realizing this. Why? 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 Look at the way the white child is built up. before the white child gets to an adolescent age, the white child would have known a lot about how to live life, how to invest, how to make life prosperous. Now, the black child is not trained up that way. All we know is go to church, pray to God, go to school. After that, find a white-collar job, stay in an office and work. Stay in a comfortable place and work. This is what the black child is trained up to do. So the black child is trained to rather be, the black child is trained to be a representative of a company. The black child is trained to be able to manage the affairs of someone. The black child is not trained to be productive. The black child is not trained to be productive. In this 21st century, we don't have a black child inventing anything like even a toy car. Why? Because we are not builded with, because we copied another person's way of life and we thought this was what we needed. We thought this was it. So we lose our identity and we took up a sheep's clothing and put it on ourselves. So we took up a system that could not control our children. We took up a system that could not train our children to the best of people that they can be. And our kings got lost in it. Our kings got lost in it. Today you will see a king who is an usher in a church. A king who will go to the church to sweep the church for church members to come and stay. A king who will enter the church to clean the pulpit for a pastor to come and stand and preach. A king have handed their power straight to the pastor of the church. So the king don't have respect. Yes, today, when you go to a lot of the black communities, we don't respect our kings. The kings are not respected. They are not seen from anything. Why? Because the king in my church is a deacon. And a deacon is supposed to be a servant. The African king have forgotten that they are the leaders. They are the controllers of this world. They are the rulers of empires. And therefore, the king became the servant. And the pastor became the leader over the king. The pastor became the leader of the king. So the king took his power, the king took his authority and handed it right over to a religious leader. The king becomes useless. And I'm saying this on note. Very soon we'll be attacking and talking to our kings in Ghana. Very soon our messages will be directed to the leaders and the kings of our country, Africa, our continent, Africa. Because before 1844, blacks did not run on nations. We ran empires. It was before 1844, before that Berlin conference, there was nothing like a black country. It was a black nation and therefore empires. We were governed by our leaders. We were governed by our kings and queens. And they taught us how to live. The black man's way of life was passed down to the generation and it was oral. Yes, it was mainly verbal. We didn't put down anything because the black man's child was trained with this kind of mindset that was able to keep up things. So we lived a legacy where we transfer everything to our upcoming generation and we make sure nothing was lost. Until we saw our way of life to be inferior, until we saw that another person's way of life was a perfect example for us to live, until we saw that, yes, a guy came to a guy came to Israel and his name was Jesus, and that we follow Jesus and we follow nothing else. So we started putting away the things that made us, the things that described us, the things that proved our identity. We threw them away and we clinged onto things that we couldn't control, and now it is out of hand. That is why today there is a father, there is a black father, there are black parents, and in their home there are children and gays and lesbians, and they don't know about it. There are homes in these black communities. There are homes in Ghana now where their children are now lesbians and gays, and the parents have no idea about it. Why? Because the parents took what they're supposed to do and they handed it over to a man of God who has also got a family to take care of. Now, when the child becomes bad, when the child does not live a good life, the parent does not see the need to blame themselves. The leaders, our kings and queens, don't still see the need to blame themselves for leading the children to where they are today. They will come out and say the children of this century, the children of this generation, they are disrespectful, and we were not like that. Our way of life. Our way of life. The way of life of the black child would have never enabled the black child become a gay or a lesbian. The way of the black child was a way that would have never, ever allowed the black child to disrespect a king or a queen. So we started losing our way of life. Now you come. What is your name? My name is Ali Muhammad. My name is Ibrahim Razak. My name is... You don't even know yourself. African men don't know themselves. They don't know where they come from. The customs and traditions in your village have been taken over by religion. Therefore, the pastor teaches you how to bury your mother, how to name your child. The pastor gives you what kind of stories you should be able to tell your children in the house. The imam tells you how to direct your children to live. We lost ourselves. And now, because we took up something that we could not control, it is getting over us. And now, it is rather controlling us. Now, the parents don't have the power of parents. Our parents do not have the power, what it takes to be parents, because they have no clue of how to take care of children, because they feel the pastor in their church, the imam in the mosque has got more work to do than... So they take up their responsibility and gives it to the pastor who doesn't know his left from his right. It's an interesting. Please share this video. Please share this video. We sat down in Africa, and today we have this rule that polygamy is the worst of sin, but gayism and lesbianism is good. The black man is brainwashed to the extent where something that is even barbaric would be compared to his own way of life, and he will choose the barbaric thing over his way of life. Yes. The white man brought a book, and he came to tell you polygamy was bad. Polygamy was not good. Today, the white man is going polygamy over being gay and lesbianism, and the white man has successfully legalized gayism and lesbianism, and is still telling you polygamy is bad. When you lose your way of life, you lose your identity, and therefore you put on a sheepskin that takes over your life, and you can no longer control it. Now it is out of hand. So the worst thing the black man child can think today, that polygamy is a sin, but being gay is normal. Yes. Today, being gay is normal, but polygamy is a sin. What the hell? What at all is wrong with the black man? What at all is wrong with the black man? Kwame Prank. I said we have more gays in the entire continent of Africa than the gays that are in the white community of America and Europe. Go and check. The black community in Africa makes up 70% of the gay population. The black community in America, they make up 70% of the gay population. The whites are now running up to about 5%. They are not even 10% into this. The whites are not even 10% into this. Today the black man thinks being gay is normal and doing polygamy is a worst of sins. When you lose your way of life, you lose your identity and you lose yourself. Look at your names. Look at the names that you have. How can your name be traced back to your roots? How can your name be traced back to your roots? Look at the way you name your child. Now, our customs and traditions for even burying the dead, all these things have been taken and the authority has been given to the pastors, imams, and sheikhs in our community. We no longer follow our customs and traditions, but we follow the ways of people. Right now, when someone is dead in your family, it is the pastor who decides how the person is buried. If you want to marry, it is the pastor who decides how you marry. Today, when a black female child is going to marry, the parents have got nothing to teach them. The pastor now comes in and tells the parents, for all these years that you've been with your child, it is useless. You have not taught the child anything. Give me the child, let me cancel the child for marriage. Let me take up this child. Now the pastor comes and the pastor is controlling the affairs of a home. The pastor has taken the responsibility from the dad and the mom, and the pastor is the one representing as a parent. And what is the pastor doing? He's just giving you another person's way of life. He's just giving you another person's way of life. Live, do this, do that, do this, do that. Now the pastor is controlling the affairs. And the pastor is the representative to make sure your brains do not cling back to where you came from. This is sad. So we lost ourselves in the midst. And now things are out of hand. We lost ourselves in the midst and things are out of hand. Look at the entire continent of Africa and you ask what is wrong with the African child. Why is it that we have everything? Why is Africa so blessed in natural resources, but Africa is the poorest? Why? Because I tell you every day, the battle was never about a physical battle that was fought with machete, guns, and missiles. The battle was always the battle of the brain. The battle that we are fighting in this world has got nothing to do with AK-47 machine gun. It has got nothing to do with missiles. It has got nothing to do with machetes and talking sticks. The battle that we are fighting in this world is battle that has got to do with the brain. He who conquers your brain wins the battle. So last time I told you, people wake up in the morning, they took up their armor, they took up their helmet, they took up their armor to go and fight. They got there and they realized they have already lost the battle, because the battle was not to be fought with those things. The battle was to be fought with the brain. So the black man have lost his way. The black man, today, let me tell you, you would see a black child who know every single history in Arabia, but the black child does not even know what happened in his own home 4 years ago. Today, a black child can give you every single history. What happened in the land of Arabia? How Arabia became Arabia? What happened in Mecca? What happened in Medina? What happened in Jerusalem? What happened in Bethlehem? What happened in Israel? Today, a black child can narrate you all these things. The black child does not know what happened in his own family home a year ago. Why? Because right from the onset, it was presented to him. White is God. Black is the beast. The black is the Satan and the white is the God. So we started disgusting our own selves. We started peeling off our skin to look white, because yes, the black skin is inferior, because the black skin is evil, because the black skin is barbaric. Let's go back and seek our way of life. What was the way of life of Africa? What was it? You have a pastor who has failed in 3 marriages. You have a pastor who has failed in about 5 marriages. A pastor who have divorced 5 or 10 women. I know a pastor who have divorced 10 women. This pastor is a marriage counselor in a church. You see a couple going to marry, and you see this 25-year-old young pastor who has not even been able to take care of a girlfriend, and he is the counselor in the marriage. Whilst this same person, your grandfather is there, your grandmother is there, they have married, they have given birth to your parents, and your parents have grown up to give birth to you. So if you needed marriage advice, the right people to have seek are in your homes. No. But you go and sit with the 18-year-old boy who said he has gone to Bible school for 6 months to give you the direction in marriage. In your community, you have old people, the ones who have lived and failed, and the ones who have been successful. If you want good advices about life, these are the people to get close to. Don't go and sit with someone who is yet to even finish a college education because they say they are pastors, and think that they are the people that can advise you. Go and look at this. The people that we are supposed to learn from, the people that are supposed to inspire our lives, the people that we are supposed to look to and live up to, they are right there in our community, but we have taken this work from them and we have handed it over to people who don't have a clue what life is about. I went to a marriage ceremony. I went to a marriage reception where a 74-year-old man, a 74-year-old man was a chairman of the marriage ceremony, and he was there with his wife. And he said they have been happily married for 50 good solid years. Instead of the youth getting close to this man and taking advice, asking him, how were you able to maintain this marriage for 50 years? They were in a church, listening to a pastor who has yet to take a girlfriend to advise them into marriage. What is the way of life of Africa? I said it from the beginning. I said that our way of life varies. The black child was trained by the whole community. Black children were not trained by single parent. They were trained by a whole community. So the neighborhood, the community in which we grew up became what we are today. Today we live in a world where our leaders have got no say in matters. Power, you see, our president, even our president sitting on the seat, they are like puppets being controlled because a pastor will tell the president what to do and what not to do. The presidents have handed their mumu ability, they have handed their mental thinking ability, and they've given it to the pastor to hold. So the pastor tells the president, do this, do that, do this or you die. Do this or you die. Do this and survive. Then the president will have to act according to the pastor. So today, a king, an African king who is a ruler of a great empire can come on a live camera and tell you there is no king on earth than Jesus. So this is the African king telling you he has taken over the power. He has taken the power that he has and he has given it right to religion. Now religion is the power that we have in Africa. Religion governs us and religion rules us. Now, kings don't know our way of life. Kings cannot teach our tradition. They don't even teach it to their own children, regardless of thinking about portraying it to the next generation. And this is sad. The day the black man lost our way of life was the day we went into doom. We are where we are today because the lives that we are living, they are sheep's clothing. This is not us. And it is sad. We lost our name, we lost our identity. We lost the way we marry. We lost the way we bury our dead. Everything is being controlled by religion to the extent that today the African child is trying to lose their skin. The African child wants to lose this skin. They want to lose their skin and become white like snow. Why? Because it was presented to them right from infancy that the white man was God and the black man was the beast. So today, even our own way of medicine, our own way of medication have now been taken from us, and it have been encompassed into something that we take and die, and we still accept that one. Today, even the food we eat is being defined for us by someone, and we accept it. Because nothing can be discovered unless the white man comes and said, hey, here you are. I have discovered you. Today you exist. Nothing exists in this world unless it was a white man who discovered it. So we lose ourselves. You have the quinine plant. You have the quinine plant right here on your soil. You have the quinine plant right here to give you the direct ingredients that you need. But the black man would want to take the one that have been extracted from the plant and chemicals added to it to consume. That one looks more better because yes, when you boil the plant, it becomes dark. But when paracetamol is very white. Yes. Paracetamol is white. Paracetamol is white. But when you boil the quinine plant, when you boil the neem tree, it does not look white. It looks dark. So black became inferior. You lost your way of life. You lose your identity. Today you are in someone's land. We ask you, what is your name? My name is Mustafa Muhammad. Which part of Arabia do you come from? Then you tell the person, no, I come from Ghana. Then they'll ask you, are you serious? Today, you go to Europe and you meet a black man. What is your name? My name is Michael White. Michael White. Why? Because our way of life became inferior to us. And we did not want to live our own way. And we have put in this mentality into our upcoming generation, and they are doing it worse than we did. This is our problem. This is our problem. This morning I've looked at a lot of things around me, and I just realized there are certain things that could have been corrected right from the onset. So today, if you're a parent and you are telling me your children don't respect the children that have come today, they are worse, they are bad. They are bad people. Please stop blaming the children and start blaming yourself, because I am a reflection of how my mom trained me to be. I am a reflection and I'm a representation of the training that my parents gave me. So when you see anything bad about me, then the blame should have gone to my children and not myself. The blame should go to my parents. Parent, it is time you start taking the responsibility of blaming yourself from failing to train your children, and stop blaming the children for what they did not know. Because this was what has been encompassed into your brain because of religion. This is what has been embedded into your brain because of religion. Why? Because right from Genesis, we saw the failure of a parent from Genesis. Right from the book of Genesis, we saw the failure of a parent. And the parent refused to accept the blame, and rather shifted the blame on the innocent children. You don't know how these things are encoded into your mind. Right from the book of Genesis. The first person who failed the child, the first parent who ever failed the child, is God in the book of Genesis. You don't still realize this. You can't see it. And it has been encoded and into your brain, deep down your brain, that you cannot even come out of it. You don't realize that God failed his own children. God is the first parent. I'm not talking about the divine God. I'm talking about the biblical God. The biblical God was the first parent who failed his children. And today you are the example of that God. Because why? You keep failing your children. You keep failing your generation. Right in Genesis, the God created the universe, produced their children, and then he gave them what can kill them, and gave it to them and told them, this is it. If you go and touch it, it will kill you. And he left it there among innocent children, the children that did not know anything. He left the thing there and knew, even though this God also knew they will still take up this thing and destroy their lives, he left it there. So if you want the first parent that ever failed their children, it is the biblical God and the Quranic Allah. Yes. They couldn't even protect their own children. The biblical God and the Quranic Allah, when the Quranic Allah was sacking Satan from his presence, Satan told him bold and point that now that you have sacked me, I'm going to make sure your children are going to be disrespectful. They are not going to be dutiful to you. And the God sat down and said, go. If any of them listen to you and they are disrespectful to me, I will put all of you in fire and I will burn you. So parenting parenting, the parenting that have been encompassed into your brain, the failure started from the exact book that you are reading, the exact book that you hold in high esteem, the exact books that you call holy. Parenting started from there, and the failure of parenting started from the Bible and Quran, because God could not parent over the children that he gave birth to. Yes. God was, the God in the Bible, the God in the Quran is not a typical example of parent to follow. And you can still realize this. And you are in church, and you are being indoctrinated with this. You are in the mosque, and you are being indoctrinated with this, and you are still giving it to your children. And you will fail them, and they will continue to fail their children, and their children will continue to fail their children. Because why? The brain has been conquered, and the battle was always about conquering the brain. Because if I'm a parent, and I know putting acid in my room can cause harm to my children, there is no way I should go and even put the acid in my room. Until Adam and Eve ate that so-called fruit from the middle of the garden, Adam and Eve were like robots. They could not distinguish between what was bad and what was good. So Adam and Eve were innocent children. What was wrong with a parent to even test his innocent children that I've put in this thing here? If you touch it, then I can kill you. So the failure of parenting started right from the Bible, and you did not see. The failure of parenting started right from the book that you call holy, and you did not see. And this is what has been given to you. And you continue living this legacy. Because of this, you have lost your identity. You have lost your way of life. You don't even know how to train up your children anymore. The black parents have given up their responsibility, and they have handed it over to people who do not have a clue of how to do it. You think the pastor's home is beautiful? I've worked with pastors. I know how broken their homes are. I've worked with pastors. And I know how they cannot handle the affairs of their own home. Yet, you entrust your children to this kind of people to lead them into the right direction. You've lost yourself. Because it was about building and conquering your brain. And it was successful. And because of this, today, you have it. And your brain has been conquered. So today, when your children, when a black child goes to school and they are asked, what is your name? My name is Efia Brewer. Then they'll ask you, what about your English name? That's nonsense. What is your name? My name is Imprunkus Kamisi. Then they ask you, what is your Arabic name? What is your Arabic name? This is them telling you to the extent where families don't even hold up their surnames anymore. There are a lot of families in Ghana, they have lost their surname. They do not know where they came from. But surnames were given in order for you to be able to trace back to your roots. So you see someone that is called Kamal Ibrahim. What is Kamal Ibrahim? Ibrahim is not an African surname, and Kamal is also not an African name. They are all Arabic names. So in their family, they do not have a surname, but they have foreign names. Whilst when you go to the same Arab country, when you go to the same Arab man's country, they are able to trace back their family lineage because of the way they are trained. So you hear a name like Ishaq ibn Katel, Yosef bin Matitiyahu, meaning when you go and looking for this one, you know this is the son of this, and this is the son of this, and this one is the son of that. But the black man, because the brain has been conquered, have no clue. And we have failed. Every parent should bow down their heads in shame. If you're a parent, you should bow down your heads in shame. Stop blaming the generation. Stop blaming your children for the failure that you have caused them. You have caused them to fail. You have caused your children to fail. Stop blaming them. And the generation don't respect. And this generation, they are evil children. Satan. The worst thing I could even hear is this generation is being controlled by Satan. All the children are being controlled by Satan. My mother, my father, blame yourself. You have failed. You could not take up your own responsibility. You could not take up the work of being a parent. You handed it over to someone who does not have a clue about how to train people. Because he used a book. And the direction in that book, even the God in the book was the first parent who failed his children. The God, the biblical God, the Quranic Allah were the first parent who failed their children because they could not just protect their children. They could not provide security for their children. God was sleeping when Satan entered into the Garden of Eden to confuse his children to eat something and die. And the God was asleep. I think I'm going too deep. I'm going too deep. And I don't want to talk against anyone. So I'll end my video here. Please, when you see this video, you can share it for someone to take up and learn something. But blacks, Africa, let's remove this sheep's clothing and take back our identity. I realized when last time I was looking a bit into our Ewe cosmology. I'm a Voltarian. I'm an Ewe. And I was looking at how our names were derived, how we got our names. And I realized this was even a fine concept that could even give you an identity wherever you are. In the Ewe cosmology, we do not have one single God. We had gods. So our names were given according to what we thought was our way of life. We have the God of destiny, the God of creation, and the God protector. So we have Mau Ese and Mau Sobolisa and Mau Tikata. So the God of destiny was the God that we used to name our children because we needed to give them destiny. So whatever Ewe name you hear is named according to the Ewe deity of destiny. Today, I'm teaching secrets. That is why I wanted to end the video. When you hear a name like Esenam, meaning the God of destiny has given me. So we call the God of destiny Mawu Ese. That was our way of life. That is how we were able to name our children and give them perspective and give them reasons for living. We took names like Mausi. Today we have removed the Se. And we have replaced it with something that we don't even have a clue of. When you go and ask them, they cannot explain it to you. Yes, I was asking a grandma last time, why did you people take the essay from the name and you rather do it in A? So when you hear something like Enam, Eyram, Esenam, it is never like that. It is Se, it is Seiram, Senam, Ewenam, it is Se Wenam. Let not lose our way of life. Let us not take, so you hear, like me, I'm here. My name should be Senam. My name is Senam. In other ways, they replace it with Mawu Enam. Mawu Enam, meaning the God of destiny has given me. But you go to school, you have this name already, and they ask you, what is your English name? What is your Christian name? So the black man started losing his identity by replacing his own way of life, replacing his own name with a foreign one. Today, I am happy that someone is called John. When you go to school and someone is called Michael, Michelle, Diane, then we are happy. Can your name be traced back to your roots? That is the question. Can your name be traced back to your roots? Today, when we are to identify families, can your name fall in a line of family at where you come from and be part of that clan? That is a deep question. When I speak about where Africa has gotten to today as a child, as I am, I feel very sad. I feel emotional. And who are the failures of this? It is our parents. And because it has gotten out of hand, they blame the innocent children for getting themselves where they are. Now our parents think, no, it is the children who don't listen. The children have now gotten to where they are. Our parent does not know they are the ones that have failed us big time. When you see this video, please share it. Someone could take up something from it. Like I always say, even when you listen to a madman talking, you can pick a sentence that will give you a little excitement, a sentence that will sound more normal to you. So take it like I'm mad, I don't know what I'm saying, I'm crazy. Please share this video. No matter what useless, not nonsense talk I came to do this morning, I know there are some people that will take a sentence from it and use it as a lesson. We need to take back our identity as blacks. Our first identity is our skin color. This is what shows we are black. And then our name. Let's even put the skin color aside. Let's talk about a name. You should step somewhere and mention your name, and immediately the name person that you are speaking this name to will project back to where you come from. Not the Johnsons, not the Amonsons, not the Bosomfields, not all those names. We have names, we have great names. Names that when you mention, people fall. Yes. We have names that when you mention, even the names becomes like a horror movie to someone and they want to fall down. We have great names, names that hold authority, names that have power in them. Today, when you are being named by someone in your family, the funny thing is, you go to church and the pastor looks at the name and he said, who are you naming this child after? Then you say, oh, it was my great-grandmother. She had this name. Then the pastor takes up the name and say, this name there is a human name. So let's first pray against the name, that whatever is wrong with this name should be corrected with the Holy Spirit before the name can be given to the child. As if you that brought the name, you couldn't think. As if your brain was not working. As if you did not have a reason for naming your child after your great-grandmother. So the pastor is now coming to tell you, oh no, let us pray against this name because it is a humanly name. Please, which name is a godly name? Black man, it's time to rise. This is the grand rising. This is the time that we have. This is the time. I want to end my video here. Thank you for coming to listen to me this morning. Setina, I see you. Naneka Free, Sister Focus, I see you. AB Oroto, I see you. Ofori, Mickey, yeah, and Ofori Percy. I see all of you. Hayford, Edu, Awal Mohammed, I see you. Ampafo Apia. Yeah, Kwame Prank, I see you also. Linda Jemfi, yeah, famous there. Yeah, my brother, I see you. I see you. I see you. I see everybody. Thank you for joining this video. Sorry I did this in English because this was a message not for only Ghana but a message for Africa. That is why I did this in English. Sorry if you are offended by the language that I used, but it got to sometimes that you have no choice. I have to communicate to people to listen. And this is what I think I can do to serve my continent. And please, today I was pleading with a sister, our mothers. Sister Focus, you are here. Our mothers, you are the ones that train up our children in the house. Please, I want to see our mothers, our sisters taking this awakening very serious. When we have more ladies involved in this process, I said the process moves faster. It looks like every awakening teacher that you ever see online doing, mostly 90% are all males. And sometimes what they think about we males is that, oh, they don't have anything doing. Oh, they want to join some occult. We want to see our sisters and mothers involved in this process for a faster results. Sister Focus, I know you are watching me. You've done great in the past and you are still doing marvelous. Please, we want you guys to come up. We want you guys to come out and talk to our people. Sheikh Issa, are you asking me if I'm CFS? Yes, I'm a proud CSF. I'm a proud Common Sense family member. Yeah. And I'll hold Common Sense everywhere I go. Even if the entire world, if the entire Ghana rejects Common Sense, I'll still take it up. Because we know what we are talking about, unless you don't understand it. So I'm pleading to our parents. I'm pleading with our mothers especially. Please, take up these messages and give it to our people. Don't feel shy. Some people claim they don't know how to talk. I'll tell you, you would never know you can do something until you have tried. Please try. Obape Chan, you are here. You are a lady. You are waking. You are awakening. Please. Put up this mantle. It is not easy. We want to get our people out of this. Look at how you have lost our way of life. Sister Focus, don't say I'm giving. Sister Focus, you know more about the African tradition. You know more about our way of life. Please, we need you guys to come back out and start training our people to go through this process. We need it. We need it. Africa must take back its clothing. Africa must remove the sheep clothing, and we should get our parents, our children, our next generation into the right direction. Please, we need it. And we know when our ladies, when our women want to do this job, they can do it faster. Because it is the same women that lead us in the church. It is the same woman that have filled up all the over 10 million churches in Ghana. It is the same women that have filled up these churches. So please. We need you guys. We need you women. Obape Chan, you've been on social media for long. Please start something. Start something. Today I was on her sister's page and I saw the marvelous things that she was posting every blessed day. And I was just looking at the kind of knowledge this lady possesses. Why is she not teaching her people? The typing is okay, but the typing does not get far. Put on something. Do something. Africa needs to be great. Africa needs to be great. And it is up to us. Yes, our parents have failed us. Most of us have now recognized the truth. We have seen the right way. We have seen the path. Let us start from here. Change only starts from a particular people and extends to the rest. Thank you very much for watching me this morning. My name is LIFESTONE GH. This is my page, African Youth Empowerment. I do local languages on Back to My Roots. And you can follow our brother Chip Chap on the New Generation TV. You can follow Samson Seto Kwabena SSK on Facebook and YouTube. You can follow Truth is One by Otimo Finisher, our brother Sankofa Nokware and Nana Sapong. They use that page a lot. You can follow Shady's Media to learn more into the African traditions and our former ways of life. You might not agree with everything there, but there are some words and things that will happen that they will say that you will learn from. That is what I'm talking about. Follow the big man himself, Chronicles of Abraham Ben Moshe, and on Facebook, Common Sense Family. Thank you very much for joining this morning. We'll be back with more teachings. I love you all. I love my country. And I love my family. Thank you very much. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.